Welcome to this video, guys. I'm super excited to share with you everything I've learned about how to find winning products on TikTok Shop. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Sebastian Nelson. I've been selling on TikTok Shop for coming up on a year now, basically since the platform launched. And I've been able to generate multiple six figures in that time frame selling exclusively on TikTok Shop. Tons of people have been asking me how to find winning products on the platform, as there's so many options to choose from. So I wanted to make this video to kind of distill down all of the key points and key things that I look for in a winning product. And that's enough talking. Let's jump into my computer and take a look at all these notes. All right, let's get into it. So first off, selecting a winning product. Choosing the right category is super important. You want to be in typically one of these four categories: beauty, health, which is typically supplements or, face stuff, moisturizers, sunscreen, that kind of stuff. Tech, accessories and gadgets, and home goods. Those are kind of the four categories I like to stick to. Usually there's high margins. The products are typically smaller, which we'll get into later. But those are typically the four categories I like to stick to. How can you compete on TikTok Shop? There's three ways in my estimation, which is having a unique product, having a problem-solving product, or having a cheap product. If you're able to have more, it's even better for you and you'll be much more successful. But if you have one of those three, you should be able to sell your product on TikTok Shop. And we'll go through some examples. So example one, here is a very unique product. We're coming up on Father's Day, and this has been absolutely crushing right now. In the last 30 days, we're looking at $1.1 million in revenue. So this is just a book. It's called Dad, I Want to Hear Your Story. It's a fill in the blank book, as you can see here, where it just, you ask questions to your dad and he's able to fill out this book with his answers. Books aren't typically a product you would think would perform super well on TikTok Shop. Innately, how do you get an influencer to talk about a book and make it compelling? It's only when it's super unique are you able to sell a book on TikTok Shop successfully. And this is super unique. People haven't seen this kind of stuff before. Let's go over a couple more examples. So here's an African exfoliating net sponge. They have done $386,000 in the past 30 days. Again, this is not a product you see very often. I hadn't heard of this until I saw this listing. So it's very unique and it'll pique people's interest. Example three. Yeah, bubble machine gun. I had never even known this existed before seeing it on TikTok Shop, and they are absolutely crushing it, about $300,000, $250,000 in revenue in the past 30 days. And look, they launched on April 2nd. On April 2nd, they were doing only $200 a month in revenue. That goes to show you can go 0 to 100 incredibly quick. On the 2nd, they were doing $200 a day. And then on the 12th, just 10 days later, they did $36,000 in a day. That's the power of TikTok Shop. You need one viral moment, one viral video, one viral live, and your product can go from nothing to an incredible amount of sales very, very quickly. Okay, so problem solving. Here's some examples of problem solving products. 4-in-1 retractable car charger. I'm sure you've seen these. If you've been on TikTok Shop recently, they are incredibly viral. This is just one example of them. There's a ton of different sellers. These have done $400,000 in the past 30 days, but I'm sure between all the sellers, they've done a ton more. What problem does this solve? If you have messy cables all over your car, maybe you have an iPhone and your girlfriend has an Android or whatever the case might be, now you can charge both of them. You can charge everything with this one device. Solves the problem. Let's go example two. Yeah, so supplements are a great example of problem-solving products. I don't know exactly what problem this is. The CMOS solves. I'm sure it does something for you. But all of these supplements follow that exact framework of the influencers are able to say, hey, if you get headaches, you need this. Or if you have been feeling sluggish recently, you should take this. And that is a problem-solving product. Supplements are probably the best example. This brand has been absolutely crushing on here. They've done $340,000 in the past 30 days, $740,000 in the past 30 days just with this product. And they have multiple supplements that they've launched. And then the other way is you need a cheap product, something really, really cheap. So let's take a look at a few examples of that. So here we go. This is just a tank top for women. They've done 314,000 in the past 30 days. And it's because the 30-day lowest price they've been selling for is $2.55. So they're competing on price. You can't find a tank top for that cheap anywhere else. So they're going to get you there. Now, I don't typically like to go for cheap products, just because the margins aren't there, right? You know, they might be shipping this to the US all in for $2 and then they're making 55 cents a unit, something around there. It's just not enough for me to really want to get involved in it. But I will give you a couple examples if that's a route you want to go down. So here's some shoes. They were selling them 30-day lowest price for $4.37. These are men's shoes, as you can see. Just incredibly cheap, and they were selling them for just $2.45. So TikTok is very much a deal platform. People are on there to get deals. So the cheaper you can list your product, the better it'll sell. I'm not seeing a ton of high-end goods selling well on there. They do, you know, it's not, all cheap stuff. I've seen Chanel bags for $3,000 sell on live streams on TikTok Shop. But for the most part, the cheaper goods tend to sell well, sell a little bit better on there, similar to kind of Amazon. Let's take a look at my product checklist, which will be 30% margins is typically what I shoot for. And I usually aim for above at least $10 is kind of my minimum on price point, but I try to be in the $20 to kind of $40 range in terms of my products. Next on the product checklist is having a product that's small enough to be shipped by air. Now, this isn't the end of the world if you can't do it, but I like to focus on this now after learning my lesson in Q4, where I had a product absolutely blow up on TikTok Shop. We had a video go viral. We started selling tens of thousands per day, and we were out of stock for 45 days because the product was too big to be shipped by air. It was too expensive to ship it by air. The margins wouldn't work. So we had to ship it by sea like we had done in the past. And sea freight takes about 30 days on average. So we were out of stock for just about 30 days, and that absolutely killed our momentum. And we missed probably multiple six figures in revenue if we had just been in stock and I had a product that could have been there in a week by air. So now I'm focusing on finding smaller products that can be shipped by air. I like to find products that are already doing good numbers, that are vetted. I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. If it's doing 30K per month on TikTok Shop or Amazon, I feel pretty confident going into that market. Especially if you look on Amazon, you're able to see if a product's already doing well on there. Typically, if it can perform in videos well, it'll also do well on TikTok Shop. Okay, so what do I use to find my products? So Calidata is number one. As you can see, that's this software right here, where you can basically pull data straight from TikTok, and it'll give you a list of all the winning products, and you can sort through these with a bunch of different filters over here. This is the most important tool for me. I'm constantly looking at the last 7 days. Launch days within the last 3 days. You can see what is blowing up recently, right? This is super, super important. So what's been going viral recently? And let me look at that stuff and see if there's any opportunities here, right? So I'm constantly looking at that almost every day. Looking at when did they launch? How are they generating sales? So if we come here and we look at this one, for example, so are they generating sales with... these are generating sales with their live streams, right? So typically if they're generating sales with lives, I'm not going to want to go into that. And also we can see Blue Water, and the number one account is Blue Water. So that's their own creatives that are generating these sales. Typically I want to see sales coming from video revenue, and I want to see them coming from affiliates and not the own creators. Because if the creator has a huge following, let's say there's a sunflower seed company that sells in TikTok Shop. They have a huge following and they make their own content, so they're able to sell through their own content. So you might look at that product and think it's a good opportunity, but you didn't look that, they just have 1 million followers and that's how they're pushing all this traffic. I want to know that this product is working with a bunch of different affiliates. And so that when I launch, I can send it out to my own affiliates and instantly start to gain traction. What's their pricing? Are you going to be able to compete with them on pricing? So that's where you start getting quotes from Alibaba and suppliers, or if you have a private supplier, or if you want access to mine, we'll talk about that later. Again, what are their winning videos like? Are they repeatable? Are they by small creators? Do they leverage a large audience? That's just what I was just talking about. You do not want people with huge followings kind of leveraging those followings. You want it to be able to go viral with a smaller following. Monitoring competitor activity. Where are they shipping from? A lot of sellers are shipping directly from China. This isn't allowed for US sellers, but there is a loophole for Chinese sellers to fulfill using TikTok's warehousing in China directly to US customers. So you want to make sure that you're not basing your pricing off of their pricing, because it's going to be very different. You're not going to be able to compete with them on pricing if they're shipping directly from China. Can you improve the product? This is a big thing that a lot of people overlook. Can you come in and look at a product and say, oh, if I do this, I know it's going to be much, much better to the end consumer? Or if you add something to it. So if you're selling a coffee set and you sell a mixing spoon or something like that, as an example, there's tons of opportunity there to just improve upon the product and have a better offering to the customer. All right, sourcing and validation of products. So direct sourcing, finding suppliers. So I use Alibaba or my private supplier for all of my products, basically. Most of mine go through my private supplier, who has access to his own networks of suppliers, and then he's able to negotiate on my behalf and fulfill them on my behalf, and it just takes a lot of the stress away. So if you do want access to him, I'm happy to send you his contact information. Just send me a DM on Instagram at Sebastian P. Nelson, asking for the supplier, and I'll send you a DM with his contact info. For test units, I go between 300 and 500 units. This is kind of the sweet spot where if you go for 300, I want to be able to send out probably 100 samples, and same with if I go 500, maybe 150, even up to 200 samples until you start to pick up that traction. Sending out samples, it may be expensive, but it is the best way to just boost your business 10x, right? The more samples you send out, the more videos, the more chances at going viral. And if you go viral, you just ride that wave and let the cash come in. So for logistics, I either ship it myself at my place here with my Rollo printer, and I have a boxing setup here where I package everything, or I use Fulfilled by TikTok for some of my products as well. For a lot of the smaller, really, really small stuff, I'll fulfill it here because I can keep it in a small space. And then for the bigger stuff, I'll use Fulfilled by TikTok, especially for anything that's over $30. TikTok will cover the shipping fee for me and the customer, as well as cover the pick fee. So typically you would pay kind of $3 to $5 just for the third-party logistics company to fulfill that order. TikTok will cover that if your product is over $30. So that's a huge savings. So I use Uline to buy all the boxes when I am shipping here. This is a great resource. If you're not familiar with it, that's where I buy all my boxes for packaging. All right, some content creation tips. I make 3 videos a day, usually for my products. Not all of them, you know, it gets to a point where you have 6, 7, 10, 20 products. You can't make videos for all of them. But to get the momentum going in the beginning and build some initial sales, make 3 videos a day. If one of them starts to get sales, run it as a spark advertisement. Then it'll push that video even more. You'll get more sales, more reviews. And then you can really make a push to affiliates, because affiliates only want to work with winning products. They don't want to test the market with some crappy product, right? They want to ride the wave of a winning product. When products are going viral, affiliates want to work with them even more, causing it to go more viral because there's even more videos. So you want to really ride that wave, and you got to build up momentum in the beginning to get yourself there. Speaking of that, to get affiliates to work with you, I use Uptick, which is a software that handles all of my affiliate outreach. You can message about 1,000 affiliates per day on here. It is about $300 a month for the VIP plan. And if you're just starting out, you probably only need the standard plan. And that is absolutely essential. So we're at the end of the video. Let's talk about scaling. Right. We went over finding your product and you build that momentum, you get some affiliates and you start building that traction. How do you really scale to like the Bubble Blaster, have those 50K days, right? The way to do it is, first of all, tons of free samples being sent out, right? You need to send out tons of free samples and accumulate all the data on the videos. Save every single video, right? Make a spreadsheet with every single video listed out by views, like count, and sales, right? Then filter by sales, and all of the top performing videos by sales, you're going to save maybe the top 5 to 10, and every new influencer that becomes an affiliate, you're going to send them that file with all the winning content, right? That's going to take the ideation out of their process, right? They can literally steal those hooks to make money. You know, these are proven hooks. These are proven converting video structures. They can use and directly copy those videos to make themselves more money and also make you more money. Because the hardest part about making content for these people is the thought process, right? They want to create engaging content, but great content takes time. And they don't have time because they're producing so much on a daily basis. Some of these influencers will work with 10 products a day, right? They'll post 15 videos a day. So if you can make it easier for them to create good content, you are going to win hugely, right? So every time you get a new affiliate, send them a file with all of the winning videos in it, right? And then when you get those winning videos, you're also going to run them as Spark ads, as we talked about earlier. And that's just going to supercharge those videos to really, really boost your sales, right? And when you have winning affiliates who are making you tons of money, stay in close contact with them, right? You want to be constantly encouraging these videos. Oh, I love this video. Maybe you could tweak this. We've seen this work here, and constantly be sharing feedback and just keep an open line of communication. If they want a higher commission because they generated you $15,000 in the last month, give them a higher commission, right? If they're a top producer, encourage them with incentives. If they made you 20K, give them $2,000 as a bonus, right? Give them 10% as a bonus. Give them bonuses, keep them encouraged, and they will really, really make your business boom. All right. I mean, that goes through all of the tips on finding winning products, launching that product, and kind of scaling it. I'm going to make more videos going into depth, really, about the scaling and launch process. So if you want those, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the account. And if you're in the school community, of course, come over to the YouTube, check it out. And if you're on YouTube, come over to the school community. I'll make a link to it below. It's completely free. All we talk about is TikTok Shop. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found some value in this video, and I will see you in the next one.